Hello. Welcome back to another FPL video. Today I'm going to take a look at a lot of things. First, we're going to look at my result at Gameweek 20, where I'm ranking right now, how I'm doing in the leagues, what are my thoughts about my team, how I see my team as a place to improve or something like that. We will finish up the short list that we're creating for the players for Gameweek 21, the midfielders that can replace Salah and Son, who are the most popular players. And we have Brighton and West Ham midfielders to add to the list, and then it will be done, and then we will try to narrow it down in the future episodes. And finally, we're going to take a look at my first team selection, and if I do the transfers now, how the team is going to look. It's not official. We're going to use another site to build up the team and see how it's looking. I will prepare maybe the first captain and see how we'll go from then. But yeah, let's start by looking at my score. 93 points. That's an amazing score in my opinion. Rank of around 354,473. It's a pretty good rank. The average is 59. I'm way over average. If you can see here, last week I was 571. This week I'm 385. So yeah, that's around 200 places of a green arrow. So that's a pretty good green arrow, and I'm pretty happy with my score. It would have been even better if I played Dawson for basically everyone except Palmer or Salah. He's my third highest ranking player, and especially if I replaced Trent by some miracle and played Dawson instead of him, that would have been ideal. But let's keep it real here. I was never picking Dawson instead of those three guys here. Leno versus Turner was 50-50. I'll have my arguments here. But yeah, let's start by speaking about Leno versus Turner. So I knew United were going to score a crappy goal, basically, and they did. But I was hoping that Arsenal were going to be more attacking. That's where I was disappointed. A yellow card, one more save, and it would have been the same. But yeah, those things happen. Leno has disappointed me a lot. I bought him here, and from that point onwards he got the ideal 2 points, while if I picked Areola, sorry, I would have gotten like 40 something points for 3 game weeks, which is 30 something, which is far better result. But you cannot always pick the right players, especially with the goalkeepers. I'm pretty bad at picking them, so I will be sticking with Leno here. He has some good fixture runs, like here he got some good points, here, then here some good points. So yeah, those things can happen. I believe he's a pretty solid goalkeeper. The fixtures are alright for him, like Chelsea is bad, but Everton, Burnley, even Bournemouth is an okay fixture. So yeah, I'm going to keep him most probably up until my wild card when I use it. We'll talk about that in another video when I'm going to use my wild card. Next up in defense, Poro. So he made 4 returns in 5 games basically, and then he blanked, so 2 in 6. That's okay. I'm pretty happy with him. He's nailed. He's having an okay fixture run going forward. Maybe around here I won't need him, but that's not for certain. Maybe I will use him. We have to see. But yeah, as I'm saying, Poro, pretty solid player. Arnold, he almost scored an amazing goal. He almost scored after the rebound of the penalty, but yeah, he missed those chances. And after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games of returns, he blanked. It's okay. I think that he is going to keep returning in those fixtures, especially without Salah. He is even a strong contender as a captain for maybe a possible double game week if Liverpool reach the final in game week 26. So yeah, it's a good player, Trent, and if Salah drops earlier from the African Cup, we can get him back as soon as possible, but we have to see how the team is performing there. Estupinian 6-pointer. I was a little bit disappointed where Estupinian played, if I have to be honest. He played as a third center back, not as attacking as I was expecting, but a clean sheet. I'm happy with that result. Sorry. In midfield, my captain Salah did pretty alright, even though he missed a penalty. He got 2 goals and an assist. Pretty good score, 16 points. Now he's gone. Bowen 3-pointer, finally a blank for him after 3 returns. So yeah, I'm not at all worried. He has been so consistent, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games from 20 he has returned. That's a pretty solid return ratio. Saka returned once again. He is going to remain to the side, especially for those 2 fixtures. He's not going anywhere, let's be honest. Son, another player with another good return, so return here, so 3 returns basically. Before that, heavy return, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he has returned in less games than Bowen, but he has a lot of points as well. So yeah, 136, and he is on 111. Yeah, he has more points because he has scored 12 goals and made 5 assists, while Bowen is on 11 goals and 2 assists. So yeah, Bowen is not getting a lot of bonus, but he keeps ticking the points, which is ideal. Palmer 18 points, pretty good return. I like it a lot. 2 goals and an assist without a penalty miss. That's what you get by 18 points. Pretty solid return. Watkins returned 2 assists. No bonus point though, but happy with the return. And Tavares scored a goal and gave an assist. Yeah, and took a bonus point. Yeah, he is looking likely as a good player to keep owning for next game week, especially if Haaland is not back, but we will talk that in a minute. Turner, pretty alright, 3 points. Archer, expected to get 1 or 2 points. That's what he got. And those on a 14-pointer, but you cannot get them all, can you? So yeah, he remains on the bench. Egan Riley is a guy that most probably is going to stay here up until the wild card because I don't need to replace him. So yeah, he's just a placeholder for a 3.9 player. Looking at the game for West Ham and Brighton, it was a pretty stalemate game. Areola made 8 saves, Steele made 2, so yeah, Brighton were way more attacking. I enjoyed how Brighton played, but they just missed the chances. I will go and look at the sofa score from yesterday, as we tend to do. So yeah, not a lot of, but an injury to Webster. He's a defender. Only 1 substitute for West Ham. Benrahma went out, but Benrahma is going to the African Cup of Nations, so he's not a pick regardless. Looking at the lineup, from the midfielders from Brighton, most probably I'm going to be only interested in Pascal Gross. Maybe Jack Hinshelwood is an option as well, but here we have more options, and now we're going to jump and add him to the list. So let's start with Brighton because it's way easier to start that way. So go, oh, sorry, yeah, that was stupid by me. So Brighton, if I go to midfielders, the only one who is not flagged is Gross, and Gross is a pretty okay returner. Last couple of weeks, not too many returns, but here he made 4 returns in 4 games, or 6 in 6. So that's a pretty good score. So he has been consistent. We have to look where those returns came from, but at a price of 6.4, he is for sure joining the list. Let's add him. So Gross from Brighton at 6.4. So he's in a good price range. I like that price range. Maybe a mid price range going forward is a good option. 3.9 with those fixtures. I mean, come on, Wolves, who are heavily influenced by the African Cup of Nations and Asian Cups. Wootton, Palace, Spurs, who are not as solid defensively. Sheffield, Fulham, Forest, those teams are good to target, so maybe he is a strong option. Gilmore, no, yeah, this guy, I like him. He plays as a right back, but he is making returns. He scored a goal here, he's getting into dangerous opportunities, so he's going to be discussed for sure when we talk about the players who are going to buy, and he's 4.5, so he's basically a placeholder. I can just get him and he will play next game for sure, because they don't have a fit right back, if I have to be honest. Yeah, Veltman is out, now Webster is out, most probably Lamptey is out, so it's going to be Dunk, Van Hickey, Estupinian, and Hinzelwood, so that's a solid player. If I want to get Haaland as soon as possible, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, a pretty solid player. I like him a lot. Another midfielder, no, I'm not interested in Milner, Bonote, Wawana, Muder, no one interests me at all. So yeah, that's from Brighton. Going to West Ham, there is an obvious pick here. It's called Jared Bowen. I'm adding him immediately. There is no way I don't talk about Jared Bowen. He has been so solid this season and he is a very good pick. Ward-Prowse is a very good pick as well. He hasn't returned in a while, but here he got several games where he returned here, 4 in a row. Then he had a game here. So he hasn't been as consistent as Bowen for sure, but he joins the ranks for sure, because why not? I'm adding him to West Ham and he's for the price of 6.0. Another player that interests me is Soucek. He has scored here. He missed an okay chance. Where he missed it? No. Here. He had a okay chance here against Brighton. Yeah, he scored against Burnley, then scored against Forest, but he is only scoring goals. And for 4.9, you cannot go wrong. Let's add him to the list because West Ham has the best 2 fixtures going up to the front. So yeah, good 2 fixtures. So Gameweek 4.9, yes. And the final guy that we're going to discuss here is Lucas Paqueta. He has been terrifically good. 3 assists here, but here only 32 minutes he got injured. I will add him and we'll monitor him, but yeah, he is most probably not going to make the list. But yeah, let's add him. For those 2 fixtures are the best fixtures. It's away to Sheffield, it doesn't matter away or home, and home to Bournemouth, where Bournemouth are far better at home than they're away. So yeah, away fixture for Bournemouth, it's a good fixture to target. So yeah, Paqueta joins for 6 million. And I believe that wraps up the midfielders list. We have 34 players that we can choose from. And now we're going to focus on maybe separating the players. Let's zoom that out. Let's sort them by largest to smallest. And we should add different sections. So we are adding a cheaper section for sure. So we are adding it like that. Then we're going to look at players up until 7.5, just to have perspective. And those are the more expensive players. So from here, as an initial selection, I'm instantly going to Foden. I know it's obvious, but Foden is a pretty solid shout out. I'm going to Gross as well. 6.4, pretty good player, solid. He makes returns, he's present. He takes some set pieces, especially free kicks. He's present in the box. Now with 2 forwards, I'm not so sure how of an attacking role he will play, but yesterday he played a pretty good attacking role. If we go and check Gross, he had an XG of almost 1. So yeah, expected goal moments was almost 1. Here was almost 1. Here is above 1. Here is almost 1, even against Arsenal when they lost 2-0. So yeah, he has a pretty good expected goals ratio, and when they dominate games such as against Luton, he will be a good player. So yeah, Gross is, oh sorry, this is another file. Gross is an option for sure. And if I have to go extremely cheap, I would most probably go Hinzelwood as a big differential. We'll have to monitor how this looks, but yeah, if I'm talking about my team, maybe Neto is an okay option, maybe Palmer. If you don't own him, for sure he's an okay option. Bailey is an okay option because Villa fixtures are looking alright. But yeah, let's take a look at fixtures difficulty rating. Yeah, Villa fixture, Everton, Newcastle are struggling, then it's Sheffield. So it's a pretty good place to start as well. But Brighton fixtures, come on, the other team with good fixtures going forward is Newcastle. and they have Luton, Forest, Bournemouth here. They may need points, but yeah, for now I'm most probably going to focus on City because City are good and are not struggling from any absentees, and Wolves and Brighton because they have so many injuries. Their starting 11 is nailed up until the start of the Europe League, which they won their group, so they won't start immediately. So yeah, I believe Brighton are a pretty good team to target. So let's look at most probable rotations. So yeah, this is how my team looks. For, by the way, I'm using fplteam.com. If you want to give it a try, you can make infinite changes here, and you can adapt the squad. It counts for your money bank, it counts the prices, it counts everything very good. So yeah, first of all, I have one most probable option, and it is bringing in Haaland if he is injury free. I want to bring in Haaland for sure, because if he plays in an FA Cup fixture or is in the group or I see him in training, I will most probably want him because he's going to be back up to form almost immediately. And the thing that I will have to do is to sell Salah, and looking at the budget, I have 5.3 at the minute, and going for 5.3 it's either Willian most probably, Alex Scott for Bournemouth, or Hinze from Brighton. If I have to be honest, I'm most probably going to go for Hinze. And hear me out why. Because next week I'm going to Gameweek 21 when City have Burnley at home. I'll most probably replace Son for Foden, and I will play him instead of Hinze immediately. So this is only one game week fixture, but if I buy him for only one fixture and he drops out of the squad, it's going to be difficult to adapt the players. So that is the more risky way. The thing that I'm thinking about most probably doing is how can I reset the team. Okay, I reset it. It's to take out Salah for Foden for next week, because Foden caught my eye for sure, and then replacing Son for Gross. This way I have two City players as well against Newcastle, and I have Pascal Gross to attack the Wolves fixture, and he's a pretty solid player, and I believe Brighton are going on the up, so he is a pretty solid player. And the captain's armband is going to be between Bowen or Saka. For now I'm putting it with Bowen because he is going to be a focal point in their squad. He is going to get the most attacks now with Kudus out. It all depends on Bowen, sorry. So yeah, he's a pretty good shout out. Saka is an option, as already mentioned, against Palace. They're going to be angry Arsenal and they will score goals at home, especially if they pick up a good game against Liverpool in the FA Cup. I believe Saka is going to have pretty good run against Liverpool and against Crystal Palace, and the final game here option here is Trent against Bournemouth, but Bournemouth are good at home and I believe they're going to score a goal, so I am steering away from Arnold and I'm most probably going to make Bowen my captain. So that's the initial lineup for game week 21. I have 10 million in the bank, which is far more money than I want to have. But next week I'm doing the Alvarez to Haaland transfer immediately for Burnley at home. If Haaland is fit, he's going to start with KDB returning, with Foden being in such good form. I see Alvarez being benched at some game weeks, and I don't like that, and I don't want that. And I prefer Haaland to be there, to be ever present, and he's going to be the captain almost certainly. I'll have two. I have the option to pick maybe return Alvarez here and just replace Archer with Haaland. I have the money still. But that means Palmer stays on the bench, which is not too worrying. But after that, I will need to go to next game week and pick a player, basically. And the player that I most probably want, looking at the fixture, it's Solanke, as pointed out here, because yeah, he has an amazing fixture on Nottingham, Fulham. Then it's two difficult games, but then look at those games, and most probably at Gameweek 26, if Liverpool players are out, I will bench them. But yeah, if I sell him here and bring Solanke in, I have just the exact money to do so. So looking at that, I will need player in the gross price range, being 6.4. So Bernardo, Gordon, Eze, maybe Ulisse, maybe Diaby, at those esque price ranges. If I have 0 injuries, that will be my squad for game week 23. And I have a pretty solid captain option in Haaland against Brentford. In game week 24, I believe Salah is still out. So yeah, if he reaches the final, of course. So here I won't need to think about him. But here in game week 25, it's most probably time to find money to bring in back Salah. And looking at the fixture run at after game week 24, the player that has to leave, it's most probably it's going to be tricky who has to leave, because Villa has an okay fixture run, Bournemouth has an okay fixture run, City are detrimental, but most probably the thing that I will have to do is bring out Saka for Salah, something like that, and I will need 4 million from somewhere. That's going to be tricky to get. So I will have to think a lot about this. I'm most probably not going to be able to keep Watkins, and I will have to add back Archer and just play like that, which is not ideal for sure. But yeah, I have options for sure. Maybe Solanke doesn't join the team at that point, but if he has a double up against Luton at some point, we'll have to have him. But the main focus right now is on game week 21, and the team looks like that, because a lot of things can happen between game week 21 and 25. It's like 1 month of difference, so a lot of things can be rotated. Maybe Dawson can be played in some fixtures. Maybe I won't need to transfer in Solanke and just keep my transfers money to add Salah right immediately and maybe replace Gross or someone else. But for sure, I need Haaland right now to be fit. If he's fit, I may go for a 4.5 player here and then go for Haaland instead of Archer, and then keep both of them as players. Then sell Son, but it gets more difficult. The most ideal thing is to get Foden for that game week, because at the home fixture, Foden and Alvarez were far more dangerous to Newcastle than Haaland was, so that may be an option there. Gross will join the squad most probably. If I have to make the decision right now, maybe a more popular option will appear after that. But yeah, Gross is a heavy favorite to join the team. And the captain option most probably is going to be Bowen that week, because away fixture to Sheffield, perfectly good. I think that wraps up the video for today, guys. We've done so many things today. We checked my rank at game week 20. After game week 20, I'm in a pretty good spot right now. We finished the watch list for game week 21, so we are now going to start narrowing up. Tomorrow we will see a video about the fixtures, so be prepared about that. If you want to see my previous analysis on the players, you can go and watch the previous videos. If you want to show your support, you can subscribe to the channel. Your help is very much appreciated. I am trying to reach as many people as it possible, because I want to share my knowledge with them. And thank you for everyone that's supporting the channel. We showcased to you the team selection, the most probable first team selection, and yeah, I think we had a lot of fun today, and I see you tomorrow with another banging video. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.